So I spent 3 months of this year so far training both Muay Thai and boxing here in Osaka, Japan. And here are 3 things that stood out to me about the boxing training in particular that makes training boxing in Japan just so unique and so different to what I've experienced training boxing elsewhere. And now this is just my personal experience of training here. I've only trained at 2 different gyms here in Osaka, boxing gyms. Trained at a few other Muay Thai gyms across the country in Tokyo, Fukuoka, and Osaka and Kyoto. But we're talking about boxing firstly, and secondly, that's still a very small range of gyms in a very big country. So this is just my personal experience, and it may not necessarily be true in other parts of Japan and at other gyms. So let's get straight into it. The first thing that is really, really noticeable as soon as you walk into the gym is the level of focus and the attention to detail. When the buzzer goes, there's always the rounds going, 3 minutes on, a minute rest. When it goes, the gym is deadly silent. There's no chit chat. All you hear is and the with people's feet sliding around doing footwork and hitting the bag. There's no messing around. There's just an intense, razor focused atmosphere in the gym, and for me, I love it. It really just, there's no way that you're going there and you're going to hit the bag half-hearted just because everyone else is so focused that it causes you to be focused. As they say, you are who you surround yourself with. So if you're training in an environment where everyone's focused and you're giving it all, you're going to be focused and be giving it all as well. And this sort of in-depth level of focus is particularly noticeable when applied to shadow boxing. They tend to do this before and after the main block of training, but it's not really seen as an opportunity to warm up or warm down. It's seen as the main part of training in a way. They are so focused. It's not actually, I've noticed the intensity isn't too high. They're not really actually trying to warm up or, get any physical work from it. It's a purely technique based activity, and it's incredible to see, and it's really changed the way I shadow box. And you'll see them shadow box for 5-10 rounds in a session before and after in the midst of sparring, and there's just deadly focus. Maybe they're just jabbing, maybe they're just moving, but there's just 100% focus to the technique rather than they're definitely not thinking what's for dinner, basically. The second thing that's super apparent training in a boxing gym in Japan is just the level of respect and the lack of ego. Firstly, everyone is super respectful and polite. When you enter the gym, you greet everyone, you go up to everyone individually and say hello, they'll say hello back to you. And then at the end of the session, I don't really know what everyone's saying all the time because it's very loud and there's lots of shouting and it's very quick. But I've learned one saying, which is "Usukare somadashita," which means thank you very much for the hard work. And it's basically a way of saying thank you for training hard with me, let's do it again. And whenever anyone leaves the gym, they say this or other statements along the same kind of line, and they'll shout out loud and everyone shouts "Us" or "Hey," and it's just a really respectful ethos and culture, and I really like it. Anyone coming in or entering, it creates a real feel of community and team. And the second area where you really see this kind of deep level of respect and lack of ego is in the sparring and the etiquette during sparring. In Japan, they spar really hard. Even the mass or light sparring is pretty hard, but once or twice a week they'll hard spar and they will go for it. But they'll greet each other politely before and after the round, and as soon as the rounds are done, there's no bitterness, no ego. I've never seen any sort of emotion post sparring. It's just they're purely there to spar hard to get better. They're very aware that you cannot get better just training by yourself, that you need to spar hard with other people, and therefore they really respect and appreciate the fact that someone's come to spar hard with them and is willing to do that. So yeah, that's something that I really like, because I have noticed, particularly sparring back at home, but even in Thailand, people do get a bit emotional, people do get upset, they get carried away, but I just haven't seen that at all here in Japan, and it's really enjoyable. This third thing really surprised me training boxing here in Japan, and it is the lack of structure with training, because it kind of goes against what you kind of know and stereotypically assume about Japanese culture in general, of extremely regimented and structured, because actually there's no set time of start of training. Everyone comes around 6, 7, 7:30. There's no you do this for warm up, or you do that. If you want to skip, you skip. If you want to shadow box, they don't tell you need to do this rounds, that rounds. There's a constant timer going on, 3 minutes on, 1 minute off rest, but there's no they're not telling you what to do. Yes, the coach will come and grab you to hit mitts at some point. Yes, they'll come and say, okay, you're sparring with him today, or you're only light sparring today. Or yes, they may say I want you to move around the back more. They'll come and give you directions, but they expect you to actually do the work, count the reps, make sure you're doing 5 rounds, 10 rounds, make sure you're doing the work yourself. And at first I was surprised about this, but then I realized it actually really makes sense, is that it's just a given that if you want to be an athlete, if you want to be a boxer, before anything else, you've just got to have that level of self-discipline and dedication. And so it's just a given. Everyone from the young kids in there, and there are young boys in there from about 10, 12, 14 who are there every day. I'm really surprised at their work ethic. They're really pushing themselves and working really, really hard. And I think it's just the overall culture in the gym, like I was saying, that razor focus, just then from a young age being in that environment, it develops you into the point where you don't need someone to tell you, okay, now start skipping, stop skipping, okay, now do some pull-ups after the session, now do your conditioning. You just do it yourself. That is just the given. Yeah, so those are the 3 things that really stood out to me about training boxing here in Japan. Try to keep it short and sweet. I'm going to be trying to make some more vlogs showing training and life here, and some more informational videos like this. So let me know, what you want me to make videos about. But if you made it this far through the video, I'm guessing you found it at least a little bit interesting. So I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, and yeah, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. See you guys next time.